Okay, so boom. You're a manga that starts off one way and evolves into something more, right? Your characters who were once so grounded in terms of abilities are now literally gods among men. And not only that, but there are aliens all over the place besides not displaying that earlier in the series. It's a hit. What are you? If you said Dragon Ball and not Boruto, I don't know what gave you the implication that that's what I was talking about. Everywhere I look, I hate Boruto. They nerfed Sasuke. What's wrong with Naruto's hair? What happened to Hinata's milkers? Look, y'all, I get it. We grew up with the greatest anime of all time. So it's understandable that y'all want to return to that. But the truth is, that's not how stories work, guys. Like, things have to evolve. They can't remain the same, or else things would have been stale years ago. Y'all remember the first couple fights in Naruto? Let me show you.
Ushisaru u ne I tori ushi uma tori ne tora inu tora mi ushi hitsuji mi I hitsuji ne Ushisaru u ne I tori ushi uma tori ne tora inu tora mi ushi hitsuji mi I hitsuji ne.
Yeah, nah, I'm not trying to sit and watch this shit. Yeah, hey man, that's one fight. That's not fair to show that. Well, guess what, buddy? It's my YouTube video. I can show what I want to mislead my audience if I so please. Now, what if I showed you these fights? Now, fights aren't everything in an anime, but it is something to take of note. A lot of people have issues with the story of Boruto. People essentially want it to be Naruto Z, I guess, where Naruto's the strongest, along with Sasuke, and everyone else is just support. But if you read the Dragon Ball Super manga, that shit gets old fast. I just don't get it, y'all. Why would y'all want that? By the time Goku popped out the healing pod on Namek to fight Frieza, I was getting fed up with him being the only person who could light niggas up. At that point, I was like, who gives a fuck who else is fighting? Let's just wait for Goku. You guys wanted that for Naruto? And yes, I know currently Kawaki and Boruto are on course to becoming that way, but the thing is, the overall story is no longer focused on the past character. At the beginning of the manga, we got to see that both Naruto and Sasuke are in fact still them niggas. The defeat from Jigen was so satisfying because we are shown that they aren't always able to save the day, which personally I loved. It was a very humbling experience for both of them. And also as the audience, we got to see that, okay, maybe this isn't like a Goku Vegeta situation like in Super. The transition into making Boruto the main protagonist, no longer in the shadow of Naruto, is working quite well. Hell, they even had to yeet Naruto out of existence right now in the current arcs, just to make sure y'all get it, that it's no longer about Naruto. It's about Boruto. Now I'm gonna throw y'all a bone, right? Okay, the art is crazy. Oh, what the fuck? I heard that Ikemoto used to be Kishimoto's assistant, but goddamn, dude, this art, I can't let this slide. Especially on a monthly basis, when Kishimoto was giving us this on a weekly basis. Look at this. Can you draw better? Yes. Yes, I can. At the end of the day, things are no longer about what we grew up on, okay? Naruto was great and Boruto is good in its own right because it's not trying to live with the Naruto standards. It never could. So that's why it's doing its own thing. No matter how out of pocket it is to this predecessor, it has to shake the Naruto 2 allegations. But y'all not ready to let go of Naruto. So, I mean, I say all this to say, ain't none of them niggas beating Goku. So before I start this video off, I want to say that if you haven't seen my You People Hate Boruto for No Reason video, a lot of that still ties into this video as well. I believe they share a couple similar themes in terms of unnecessary hate for Boruto. But the main topic of this video is Boruto too strong after his time skip? So there are 6 chapters of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex currently out. And in the most recent chapter, Boruto has shown 2 new abilities, is flight and purple lightning, which comes from Kakashi. And a lot of people in all types of blogs all over the place are saying that Boruto is literally a walking god at this point, which technically he is. He's 100% Otsuki if you follow the story. So the question is he too strong? My big argument towards that question is when Naruto went through his time skip, all he came back with was a fucking bigger Rasengan. That's all Naruto had to offer with his time skip. And of course, there were little instances where they showed that he had a bit of genjutsu prowess from Jiraiya teaching him. But other than that, Naruto's bigger amps comes out towards the end and the middle of Naruto Shippuden. So when people say that Boruto has too many amps, it's like it's either one way or it was how we got with Naruto. And I greatly accept the way we got now. Even if you look at other anime, such as My Hero with Deku, they had a 6-month time skip, and Deku came back with a slew of powers. Now that may be a bit of a stretch because I don't believe that it added any type of hype between the break for him to get those many amps. 6-month time skip doesn't seem like it should warrant Deku being at an in-game level in terms of power. It also doesn't feel like us as the readers feel like he's technically earned all of that power. Prior to their time skip, Deku just unlocked the float ability. So he had about maybe 3 to 4 of One For All's techniques under his belt. I think he had like Danger Sense, Black Whip, and then Float, and of course his own like full cowling and stuff like that. Now that amp may have been a little exaggerated, and I can see the hate towards that one. When you look at another story like One Piece, for example, the time skip in One Piece was 2 years. And not only did Luffy and everyone else on the Straw Hat crew hone in on their base abilities that he had prior to the time skip. So with Luffy, he was able to pretty much control gear second gear, I should say, as well as third gear, because they had major drawbacks before the time skip. Second gear would take away most of his lifespan, or some of his lifespan, I should say, and third gear will result in a weird after effect where he would essentially become chibi size. After the time skip, he's able to flow between both of them pretty fluently with no drawbacks. And not only that, he's also developed a brand new technique, Gear 4, which is kind of a combination of Gear 2 and 3 with a new spin with in-world powers like Haki and stuff like that. And don't even get me started on Haki. Like, that is a in-world ability that he was able to hone in and master within 2 years. He's only getting stronger. Now, when you have an ability like Gear 5, where it's kind of like the pretense to Gear 5 is that he ate a devil fruit, held some type of ancient power or whatever, and now he's like the reborn god Nika, just like how Naruto was at the end of his story. Those amps I do not like. Those amps I will give you. I don't like those power amps. But when there has been time and there's even flashbacks of Boruto training with Sasuke, it's not far out to say that maybe he's acquired a bunch of new techniques and powers. Now, we don't exactly know how he got some of these. For example, he's even learned the fourth Hokage's teleportation technique. Things like the purple lightning and being able to fly. Even him developing his own unique Rasengan using the Earth's rotation. Those seem like amps that I would hope somebody in that universe would get if they've been training for 3 years. Now, we still haven't even seen all of Boruto's abilities. We know due to the first chapter of Boruto that he's able to unlock his eye and also use his karma. So we still don't even know the full extent of to what he's learned. I just don't think the hate towards Boruto, learning these new abilities and putting them to great use, I should say, is warranted. Because if you guys wanted a character to go through a training arc and not improve whatsoever, I don't know what kind of story you guys are looking for. Maybe you can go back and watch Naruto Shippuden and see how bad it looked on Kishimoto's part to not implement Naruto with better techniques to use throughout the rest of the story. And not to say that Boruto probably won't learn new techniques throughout the rest of Two Blue Vortex. I'm sure he will. Because even in Naruto, he learned Sage Mode, Rasen Shuriken, he learned to control Kurama. Things like that are bound to happen. But I also do think that the current Boruto right now is good for a time skip arc. Like, I don't believe that he's too overpowered whatsoever. Yeah, that's just something I wanted to get out there. If you guys think that Boruto is too strong right now and that he may need to knock it down a few pegs, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, that's all I had to say. See you. Understanding Boruto at this point is to acknowledge just how different his development is as opposed to the development of Naruto. At this point, I've made several videos about Boruto's growth and how much he differs for the better from Naruto, but I've never really made a full-fledged video on the subject until now. The dynamic between Boruto and Naruto is that they are clearly polar opposites. From the beginning, even until now, that sentiment remains true. And it doesn't seem like that's ever going to change, which isn't a story a lot of people want, but the one people need. At the beginning of Naruto, we were introduced to a young kid who's causing all heaps of trouble for the attention of others. It is revealed that he has some sort of monstrous entity residing within him that gives him immense power when needed. This is also what we are led to believe is going to be the same path for Boruto, due to him sharing a borderline identical introduction like Naruto. And it was right there that it didn't seem like we were off to a great start. However, this is really just as far as the similarities go. Now, at the time of writing this, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is nowhere near done, but I also want to just compare to Naruto as of right now. In part 1 of Naruto grew up with almost little to no respect from anyone within his village. They feared him and saw absolutely no potential in him. He doesn't seem to grasp the concept of working as a team. He doesn't have any unique skills opposed to his Team 7 comrades. In his first mission ever, he froze and had to be rescued. But as the arcs go on and we get a better grasp of Naruto and his quirks as a character, we see that he eventually becomes a strong, cunning young ninja, despite the odds being thrown against him. From the village, while not fully trusted by the village, he does begin to make some friends and even adopts more jutsu unique to him. Hell, he even was able to somewhat tell the Nine Tails to help him out when he needed his power. At the end of part 1, Naruto is at the beginning stage of becoming what he always wanted, a ninja that people respect and count on when needed. Now, in part 1 of Boruto, we are introduced to essentially the Prince of the Hidden Leaf, the son of the most powerful ninja not only in that village, but arguably the world. Not only was his social status well known, but even down to his biological features. Being a descendant of the Uzumaki and Hyuga clans, while not having all the OP abilities out the gate, his potential to dive deeper into his roots was uncanny. Having multiple jutsu at his disposal as opposed to Naruto at the same age, and then going on to learn his own adaptation of his father's most iconic jutsu. In short, this nigga had acquired the sauce. Us. Those are what I feel like are the obvious differences, but where I feel a lot of people in the fan base greatly ignore or flat out just ignorant to happen to be where Naruto and Boruto end up at the end of each of their boyhood arcs respectively. Throughout Naruto Part 1, it is very well established that Naruto is only getting stronger through each progressive arc, and it's also well known early on that his rival, Sasuke, ain't really fucking with that. Sasuke's backstory, I'm sure, is well known, but if you don't know, his older brother told him, don't come to school tomorrow. Sasuke ain't listen. He saw his clan get squad wiped, trauma, revenge, fucking sad hood movie. Upon seeing just how much he was getting overshadowed by Naruto and how stagnant he felt in power, Sasuke leaves determined to get more powerful so he can avenge his clan. To which Naruto couldn't accept. How could he stand by and allow his friend to go off into danger? The Sasuke retrieval arc ultimately ended in failure. Not only could they not get Sasuke back, but the entire team sent out to retrieve Sasuke almost all lost their lives essentially. However, in the depths of defeat, our young aspiring ninja makes a vow to get stronger and save his friend from the path he set out upon. This aspect of Naruto Part 1 ends by not only showing us that our protagonist will get stronger in following arcs, but he's going to show us, the reader, what he's really made of based off his claims. And that is the definitive difference between where Naruto and Boruto branch off. Where Naruto leaves us with hope, Boruto is a different matter. In Part 1 of Boruto, it's like I said earlier, established that Boruto essentially has everything Naruto didn't have when he was growing up. Family, an insane amount of potential, and definitely had the attention as he was the Hokage's son. And we found it amusing for a while. We didn't really see the need for this story, as it seems like Boruto had nothing to really do. He didn't have any struggle. That was until his fight with Momoshiki came, when the story literally tells us verbatim, everything will be taken from you. From that point on, the theme of Boruto is established to be loss and struggle, the opposite of Naruto's, which was gain and striving. Both Naruto and Boruto have entities residing within them, but where Naruto seems to remain dormant for the most part until Naruto has an emotional outburst, Boruto has a way worse ordeal with Momoshiki, as it's revealed that Momoshiki is gradually taking over Boruto's body, and at some point, Boruto will cease to exist. And with almost little to no resolution for this, Boruto is essentially on a clock. And while on that clock, Momoshiki can essentially take over whenever Boruto is rendered unconscious, leaving all types of chaos and damage whenever he appears. And with that being said, only one person doesn't see any hope for Boruto, and rather him be dead than to have the opportunity to continue to destroy. That person being Kawaki. Similar to Naruto's relationship with Sasuke, Boruto has his own rival in Kawaki. Now, Kawaki is a very deep layered character in his own right, but to understand him briefly at this point in the story, Kawaki has acquired a deep and unsettling obsession with Naruto, as Naruto is the first person to really show Kawaki human compassion, and believes that Naruto is to be protected at all times. And with that in mind, it leads Kawaki down a path of power, not for revenge like Sasuke, but to protect Naruto at all times no matter the cost, leading him to make some very heinous acts, one of those acts being killing Boruto to stop Momoshiki from continuing to come out. If you guys still don't see just how much it sucks for this kid at this point, just keep listening, it gets a lot worse. Through some genetic shenanigans, Boruto is basically given a second chance at life, with Momoshiki still residing within him. The good news being that Boruto will continue to have a life. The bad news being that Momoshiki can still cause chaos if Boruto isn't careful. So essentially, Momoshiki isn't going to be able to just completely rewrite Boruto out of existence, but they still have to share the same body. As opposed to when Naruto would lose control of the Nine Tails and would cause mindless destruction, Borushiki is much more calculated when he's attacking. For example, nerfing Sasuke from using his Rinnegan and attacking Naruto, meaning that Boruto is very much still dangerous and a threat in the eyes of Kawaki, and despite them being friends, Boruto has to go. The obsession that Kawaki has with Naruto leads him to sealing Naruto away, knowing that he would try and stop him from killing Boruto. He attacks Boruto, leaving a nasty scar, and through another series of events way too convoluted for me to express in detail, took Boruto's identity and swapped places with him. So now people see Boruto as a crazed maniac who hurt the Hokage and performed random attacks on his fellow ninjas, leading Boruto to have to go on the run as a rogue ninja. And this is just part one of Boruto's journey. With a little bit of hope for Naruto to bring back his friend and ultimately get stronger, Boruto leaves us with a bit of despair and hopelessness, which brings us into Two Blue Vortex. Now, the obvious being that Boruto has way more sauce than Naruto did during his time skip, from the fit to the way he speaks, and of course his abilities. But the bleaker part being is it is revealed that Boruto cannot undo what Kawaki did. He cannot revert back to his previous life, meaning the most he can really do is free Naruto and Hinata from whatever seal Kawaki had placed on them. But despite that, the world will still view him as a criminal, his friends still won't trust him, and his life will never be the same. And it appears that Boruto has made some sort of peace with that, as we see in his dialogue with Shikamaru. And it looks like the definitive way the story is going to continue on, what looked like a copy of a story we had already seen for a decade is shaping up to be something with a much bleaker overarching story. And I feel like we need to acknowledge just how different Boruto is from Naruto. I get where a lot of people are coming from, where they're saying that we don't really need Boruto as a story, but I do think that Kishimoto is going down a sort of different writing path, and it definitely seems like he's taking inspiration from a lot of the other bleaker like seinen stories we've seen, such as like Berserk and Villain Saga and stuff like that. I don't think that Boruto is going to be an exact copy of the way Naruto was at the end of his story. I believe that Boruto may end up being a much more mature and bleaker character overall.
Imagine a story with complex characters, beautiful fight scenes, and emotional moments. Consider it the greatest anime of all time. Introducing Naruto.
Then I hop on my car. And they put right on the stars.